Hello, welcome back to Tail Tree Cabins. It's gotten quite raw out here. It's middle of October, the temps are just barely above 40, and we got rain, drizzle, sleet, and a little bit of snow. But this is going to be my first trip on the freeway with the cab on. I put the cab on last year, and I have taken JD on a couple field trips, but they've been pretty local. I'm going to go about 2.5 hours on the freeway. We'll see how it does, make sure the doors don't blow off, nothing falls apart, loosens up, and we'll see how well the integrity of that cab is. I'm going to finish strapping everything down, and I'll meet you down in southern Ohio. Alright, I made it down here. It wasn't too bad of a ride. It was a little bit easier to tow than that RV was for the 6,000 mile trip that we were on. But everything stayed put in here. I checked one time. I stopped to make sure all my straps were tight and nothing came loose. I was a little bit concerned over here with the brush hog because it was kind of hanging over a little bit, but everything stayed good. I'm pretty happy about that. I did take that little plastic piece out of the back window. It's a roll-up window, and I took that out and I just left it at home thinking that would really be blowing a lot in the wind. But I was watching the doors as I was going down the road, and they seemed to stay tight. I did take a little bit of a precaution, and I put a bungee cord going across one handle to the other handle on the inside, just in case maybe the latch or something were to come loose. But it didn't appear that anything like that happened. So you can tow pretty good with this cab on there. I was probably doing 65 most of the time, occasionally up to 70, but no issues. Okay, I got the cabin all situated, unpacked. Got the hot water tank going. I got some heat going on in there. It was about 42 degrees when I went inside there. It's pretty chilly. But back here is my UTV or ATV path. It's kind of overgrown. It's hard to tell, but that's one way that we get up to the top of the hill. And during the summertime, we had probably a good gully washer, and it washed away part of the driveway over here. So I brought the tractor. One of the main reasons for bringing it was to boxblade this driveway and level it out. I got a couple good little gullies where there's some little dips in here. It might be hard to see with the camera. There's a bunch of stone that washed down through here over almost on the edge of the woods over here. So I'm going to see if I can reclaim a little bit of that. But I think I'm going to have to wait for things to dry out a little bit. It's been raining off and on all day. Drizzle's coming through. I hope it's going to be a good dry day tomorrow. And I think what I'll have to do is start out just using the lawnmower and trying to spit all these leaves off the driveway. Then I'll try to hook up the Boxblade and start working on this driveway. Now the catch is, as I'm used to doing the Boxblade on a nice flat driveway like I have at home in northern Ohio, This has got a pretty good steep hill coming up. I've never worked with that before, so it's going to be a little bit of a learning experience for me. So stick around, we got a lot of work to do. Just a quick comment here. That's where the first little washout is, and if I were to go forward, my tractor tires really were off balance when I hit that dip, and it's not really pronounced in the camera, but I really would have tipped over the tractor if I would have tried going forward and just going over with the box blade. So always remember, you can still go in reverse and you got that blade on the back of the box blade. See on the right side of the driveway where the leaves have collected, that's another little washout area where there's a nice little dip in there, and slow and steady is going to win the race on this one. Just kind of going over it and over it again and over it again and taking your time, and the hill hasn't really bothered me that much. I don't have the tines dip down real low right now, and I'll explain why in a second. putting the box plate on a slight angle so I can put a slight crown in the driveway now. Some of you might have noticed when I first put the box plate on to my quick hitch that I didn't have bushings on there, and my bushings are on the brush hog right now, and I was just too lazy to switch them, so that's why you hear a little bit more of a rattle. I normally do put bushings on there. I should probably just buy a set for every attachment that I had. Just a quick comment on the tines. So I only lowered them 1 notch, and it's hardly going to dig into the ground at all. And the reason that I did that is that since I have such a steep incline coming up through here, I didn't want to loosen up the gravel too much, because then all my tires would be spinning trying to come up the hill. So I just wanted to dress up the driveway without loosening up too much of that gravel. Otherwise, like I said, it would make it a little bit more difficult to get the truck up here, and then if you're towing something like a trailer with UTVs or something, it would be all the more harder. That's why I didn't go that deep. Normally I do when I'm at home, but I'm flat and you can really loosen up and dig up the stone that way. But in this case, I didn't lower the tines that much. All right, I'm pretty pleased right now. It's pretty smooth. It's a lot safer to go up and down. The ruts are gone. Down by the street, I need to touch up a little bit by where the trailer is parked right now, and then also where the pickup truck is. But one thing I did not bring was diesel fuel with me. I topped off the tank thinking I would have enough, and I still got a lot of work to do. We still got to do some brush hogging. I still have to take it on top of the hill, which is a couple-mile ride down the road to get up and around to it. So I'm trying to conserve fuel, and one of the reasons I'm mentioning this is because when I'm videoing a lot of this stuff, the tractor's running in the background as I'm moving cameras around, starting and stopping stuff. It takes a lot longer to do a project when you're filming it than when you're not filming it. You kind of got the gist of what I'm doing with the driveway here. I'm going to shut the cameras off for a little while, do a little touch up, cut the grass, charge up my camera batteries, and then see how my fuel situation is doing. I think the next priority is probably getting it up on top of the hill and doing some brush hogging up there. But for now, this is how the driveway's working out. I'll give you a little after shot when it's all touched up. Let's keep on working. I got the grass cut, and that means I can now move the trailer and put it over where I cut the grass, and I can finish touching up the drive. I even did a little bit around the fire pit. It looks really good. I'm pretty pleased. It almost looks like you had a fresh load of stone just dumped on top of it. Everything came out good. In this area where the washout was, I'm probably going to have to stick a culvert pipe in there, and hopefully we won't have a big rain until I can come back down with the tractor, but this time put the backhoe on, and we could dig a little trench, put a culvert pipe in there, and see if we can divert some of that water that's coming off by our ATV path. This was the other area of concern. That's where I had a little dip on the right side of this driveway where the leaves were collecting, and that's all nice and smooth now. Alright, I'm going to try to get the brush hog up on top of the hill, but before I go up there, I thought I could take a couple tree stands with me, do a little recon with the UTV just in case some trees are down or it's blocked or who knows what would make it impassable for the tractor. So I thought it'd be a good idea to check it out first. So I'm going to head up there and take a look around, and while I'm up there I'll put a couple seats up, come back down, and probably put the feeders up there too, get them going, and we'll see if we get that tractor up there. Alright, I think we're going to make a part 2 of this video, and that'll highlight the brush hogging, getting the tractor up on top of the hill, and doing some trail maintenance up there. We're getting about 17-18 minutes of video right now, so we'll continue on in a week or two, and I hope everybody enjoys these videos. I hope you subscribe, click on that little bell when you want to know when a new one is coming out, and keep an eye on us. Take care, everybody.